Burp.
Hey everybody, welcome back to InnRoads Plays. We are delving into the philosophical angle of Mines and Biscuits. We started off with the cardboard cutout. It was a way to kind of blow off steam after a very tumultuous week, but it's carried on to say that we still need that kind of release valve. So it was just a nice little development that I just so happened to be involved with a great group of characters, and I am completely blessed to have an additional character added into the mix. So super pumped to have that going on. The last time we were together, we started the lost mines of Fandelver. Lost Mine of Fandelver. It's the intro adventure into Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. It's been out for a while. We thought we'd just give it a spin, and now we're throwing it off the rails and doing something completely, well, it's going to be there, but we'll see what happens. So let me go around the horn and just kind of introduce folks that are here. We have Brian, who's playing the Halfling Rogue Squeak. We have Jacob, who is playing the Half-orc Baker Bard. Or I'm sorry, Cook Bard. Bardic Cook? What do you like?
I just go with Cook. Bard's really the mechanics. Cook is the flavor.
Forget it. That's the flavor. That's what we're after.
Forgive
so we
the
have
pun.
Jacob playing the Half-orc Cook Crud, Rough Gut. And now we have Alistair, who is playing the Ranger Falconian.
Hello.
And we have our familiar face, Alyssa, playing Ursula, the Cleric. And don't forget Patience.
And Patience.
I should have like a whole nother camera just for Patience. That would be
Just get it.
Webcam with just a ball peen hammer.
There you go. And then we have Alistair's wife, Leah, who's joining us as the... There you go. We have Leah joining us as the sorcerer, Farah. So, hi, Leah. There's her hand waving. We had like little
Hey,
camera
Leah.
divvying up there so that way they could both be in the same house. Hello! And this is actually kind of cool because, Alistair, you just now started getting into role-playing games not too long ago. You started with Dungeon World, got into Dungeons and Dragons, you've probably done some other stuff too behind my back that I'll forgive.
Not yet.
But you actually, and Leah is sounds like she's really happy to be here, and so this will be the first time she'll be playing Dungeons and Dragons as well. So super honored to have this responsibility, and I will take it as seriously as need be, which means
Not at all.
Not at all. Yeah, I mean, well, no, it's fun. We're gonna have fun. We have fun. We kid. We joke. That's what we do. So, when last we left our intrepid adventurers, we had just committed an atrocity upon the poor goblin gathering at Cragmaw Hideout. They had... well, let's rewind a little bit. We started off in the town of Neverwinter, the city of Neverwinter, where they were assigned to bring supplies to a small frontier town named Phandalin to the south. Their erstwhile employer, named Gundren Rockseeker, is eager to get down there. He's going to be meeting his two brothers, his two Rockseeker brothers, and looking to try and open up an entrepreneurship in the small town. So he and his bodyguard, Sildur, a human fighter, went off to lead the way, and then ostensibly leave you guys behind with the wagon and the donkey, and also you have your donkey there as well, Crud. So on the way down, unfortunately, it seems that bad fortune fell upon Gundren and his companion as they found their horses dead in the road. They were waylaid by goblins, and many goblin beheadings and squishy parts later found themselves in the hideout of these goblins, run by a bugbear named Clarg. Gotta make sure I pronounce that right. Clarg.
Formerly named Clark.
Yeah. The bugbear formerly known as Clarg, now known as Squishy Pants. So, there you go.
Chunky salsa.
There you go. Leah, I'd like to apologize for the violent outburst of our cleric in the group. I just want to make sure that you know what you're getting into.
That's how she is.
It's all in fun. It's all in fun. And they were all bad.
So I'll try to kill him at least once.
There you go. And so the cool thing is that we did see Biscuits of Inspiration, as Crud was able to inspire some of the group on to greatness, and all of them survived. And so now we are in this darkling cavern that's lit by a single campfire. And as we closed our session last time, we saw the face of Sildar, beaten and bloodied, held inside a cage, and not in the right location that I left him. I'm going to move him on the map here real quick. Bam! He's down here, like, with all the boxes and stuff in a little cage.
Oh, there's the map.
There we go.
I was totally zoomed out.
Yeah. I'm always zoomed out. That's just the way I roll. So that's where we'll start. His face had come out of the shadows, and his first question out of his lips when he saw that you weren't another group of baddies was, "Where's Gundren?" So that's where we will kind of drift into our scene. So we've had the previously on of Mines and Biscuits segment is now complete, and the screen goes black, and we are introduced to a very small flickering flame. It looks like it's the embers of a campfire that's starting to die down. Well, at least we think that way. And as the camera kind of comes back, we see rocky escarpments along a cavern wall. We see broken and shattered crates here and there strewn about the stone floor. And then we see broken and burned tiny bodies of goblins that are kind of scattered along the floor. And as we come back a little bit further, the camera passes through a set of wooden bars, and we can tell that we're in some kind of a cell, something to that effect. And the only sound that we hear is kind of the leftover remnants, the crackling of fire burning, that kind of crack and hiss. And then, as we get further into the cage, we start to hear the breath of a woman breathing. Not rushed. Maybe, I don't know. It's hard to say. Depends on how she reacts. The expression of her heritage has just poured forth. She had been a prisoner, and may yet still be one because, well, she's inside this cage, but she had extended her hands towards her captors and literally burned them alive. So, the camera kind of pans back, and we see the back of this woman. And we all know it's Farah, but we'll introduce her in just one moment. So the camera kind of comes back, and then the camera goes black, and all we hear is her breathing. And then that crackling of flames and embers. And then we come back to another flame, a small campfire. And the same kind of stone floor is around here. But we see blood, a lot of blood. We see some people milling about this cavern. We see a halfling, a half-orc, a cleric who looks to be on her last legs, but is holding it together because she won't have any of it. She doesn't want any of that mess. And we also have a human whose sharp eyes are looking about in the darkness, trying to see, what else is out there, if there are any other enemies lurking about. And then over their shoulders, or kind of working his way in between them, we see the halfling Squeak as he's looking about the cavern, his hands dipping into a pouch at the side of Clarg, the bugbear, looking to see what he may have. But as his hands are jangling around inside that pouch, we hear the voice of Sildar coming from that cage and asking the question, Where is Gundren? Who are you? And that's where we open our scene. So who responds first? Who says what?
Ow.
Those are both questions that I could ask you. We were ambushed on the road. Yeah.
it must have been at least 10 of them. And then that bugbear, and he like looks over to the ruined mass that's left of Clark. They I don't know. They'd been told there were stories coming out in Neverwinter that were bandits on the road, but I wasn't anticipating something that intense. I haven't seen Gundren in at least a couple of days. Wait, you're the ones that we hired to bring the supplies down.
Yep.
What? I won't question the good fortunes of Timor at all. Just that you're here and alive. And he rattles the cage door.
We found your horses. Figured we would come see what the goblins had done with you.
I'm saddened by the loss of a good mount, but I'm thankful that at least their sacrifice didn't go in vain, and they at least alerted you to our presence.
Squeak's finished the rounds of picking all the various different pockets. And
Why don't you give me an investigation check real quick?
he comes around.
That way I'll let you know what you get as you talk and stuff. Wow, nice.
So, not much gets by Squeak.
No, apparently not. So, let's see. So, I guess, did you want to say anything, Squeak, or? What do you
Well,
want
for Squeak wants to. Yeah, Squeak's he's been checking the pockets, and then he's unhurriedly making his way over a little bit closer to the cage, and says, "Do you want me to get you out of there?"
I guess I'd be quite appreciative of it, yeah.
So Squeak will get out reaches to the side of his little pouch, brings out a couple little tools, and takes a look at that, and trying to see. Hold on. And this is
grab your thieves' tools on the left
thieves'
side.
tools,
yeah,
right?
Just click that and do the trick.
And it rolls horribly.
Well, it's not too shabby. You actually are able to spring the lock, but maybe like one of your tools gets a little bent as you're trying to do it, but it's still serviceable. You're still good to go. But I don't know if you're the kind of person that would kind of bug you over time. Like I've got to get this fixed, or maybe I can try and fix it myself, or whatever.
Yeah. Squeak's a little bit embarrassed even though no one else knows how long it took him, probably he's embarrassed.
Yeah, length of time. That's true.
About how long it took him to.
Okay. So yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Hey, Squeak. What'd you find in those pockets?
I don't. There wasn't nothing.
No.
Sure.
I fought goblins for a long time. They rarely have nothing in their pockets.
Just a couple more fingers.
Yeah.
Just a couple more fingers.
A few buttons.
Wouldn't mind you sharing a little bit is all. Especially if you're going to wipe your knives off on my pants.
Oh my goodness.
What did Squeak find in those pockets?
Oh, well, you're kind of like looking down at what you've managed to gather.
I start pulling things out of my pockets where I stuffed them in real fast.
You have found. Let's see, you got a pretty darn good roll. So you found 45 gold pieces.
So Squeak pulls out 27 gold pieces. I found these.
All right.
Puts them back in his
split
pocket.
this between the three of us, or you want to split that 4 ways? Or do you just want to hold it for right now for us?
If you really are in the mood for talking about splitting up the gold, I mean...
You can hold it for now. Calm down.
Seems like we ought to get Sildar back to safety.
Oh yeah, Jeff. Since we did level up, do my current hit points go up along with my hit point max? Because we never sorted that out.
Yeah. Whatever number you added to your, hit points will add to that.
Sorry.
I think the effectiveness of your normally you'll have like a long rest, and that's when you level up. So we'll figure that'll kind of work into itself here once you're here.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me see here. So I don't think my whisper function is working, but so we flash back over to the other end of to the other area, and yeah, Farah is she's inside that cage, and she's kind of rattling it and noticing that it's actually been quite weakened from the fire that came from you, and so yeah, you can hear some voices. You started hearing some fighting and that sort of thing from the distance, like down this. There's like a passageway that leads to a bridge. But yeah, you were able to hear voices. So, however you want to, if you want to move, make an approach, that sort of thing. It's I don't know. How would your character react? What would you want to do?
She's thinking.
Yeah. Whenever you're ready, just speak up and just jump into the mix of it. It's totally fine.
Okay. But how would you react to thinking that her cage is weakened and like that there might be other people who aren't goblins in the cave?
She might try the fire thing again.
You gonna say that louder? Because that would be great.
Because it didn't work out exactly the way she had hoped the first time.
She said she might be a little frustrated, and so she might try the fire thing again, since it didn't work out quite the way she wanted the first time.
Right. Well, you know what? You're kind of feeling that frustration work up inside of you, Leah. So, or Farah, character names. So Farah, what you want to do is you could do a strength check to try and further open the cage, because right now the bars are pretty loosened right now. So if you were to do a strength check and have a moderate success, you would probably be able to get through that. So if you go to your character sheet, on the left-hand side of your character sheet, you'll see that there's a strength button there, or the word strength under your character attributes, and you can roll that.
Does she have an advantage since she torched the cage once a little bit?
That could be argued, but in fact, actually, the 8 is sufficient. I was actually looking just for a 5. So,
wow.
So yeah, you're able to actually break the cage. Like kind of comes open, but it actually the door comes off in your hands as you're pushing forward, and you see like they basically had you in a cage where they should have had a lock on there, but they had twine and other kind of stuff like brambles and stuff kind of holding it in. So when you burst your flames forward, it just torched it. So the bars are strong, but the connections were not. So yeah, you can totally move that off. So as you're looking around, and let me scoot my version of the map over to where you're at. So as you're looking around, you should be able to move your character around and kind of look around at what's happening there. The place that you're in looks like it's a place where the goblins would sleep. And if you wanted to depart the area, you can go. There's a passageway that leads over in this direction here, if you can see where I'm pinging. And you can make your way along that passage around and towards a bridge that's across the way.
Yep.
Yeah. There you go. Cool. So that area that's to your right, like direct right and down, is a caved-in area that's there. But you can make your way northward. Actually, you know what? I'm going to say that you'll need to... Because you don't have... Does your character get dark vision?
I don't think so.
Because of your... I was thinking because of your heritage.
Yeah, I'm half-elf, so I have dark vision, but she's human, so she does not.
Right. Oh, it's the resilience and the fire connection. That's what you get. Okay, which is pretty awesome on its own. So let's say maybe you might grab up one of the you grab one of the torch or a log from the fire and kind of stoke it a little bit, and you'll be able to generate some light. So let me give you a torch here that you can use.
He's gonna equip your character.
Yeah. There you go. So now you can generate your own light. As you move your character, it should follow you so that you can actually do a little bit of exploring there. So as you're making your way around, I told you how much you found in there, Squeak. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
45 gold. Okay. So, which I probably should have just whispered to you, so that way you can decide if you want to share it. I will remember that forthwith. Going forward, I'll remember that. So let's see here.
I'll hassle him about it, but I'm not actually gonna pitch a fit.
Yeah, it's fine. So Solder kind of makes his way out of the cage, and he nods gratefully to Squeak, and he's trying to like stand up, and he looks like he's been like beaten pretty severely. In relative terms, he's down to like 1 hit point, if you wanted to look in game terms. But he's standing up, and he's holding his chest and his ribs area, and he's just, yeah, he's not doing too well. He actually leans on the cage a little bit as he's trying to work his back to be able to stand up.
Oh, jeez.
You need some help?
That'd be good if you wouldn't happen to have any water, would you?
No, I got
Got some here.
I got some soup.
I got something for him.
He like looks at you and looks at the hammer and looks back at you. You're a faith dealer, aren't you?
A little bit.
Whatever you can spare, that'd be appreciated. He goes over and he sits down on a crate.
I'll burn a spell slot on him for cure wounds.
Nice.
And this is where the other people in the party knows about Ursula's methods, but Leah doesn't. So
Well, that's right.
this will be funny. So she'll stand up. She's heading over to where freaking Barry Blue Jeans is.
Barry Blue Jeans.
Solder.
Listen, he's forever Barry Blue Jeans in my head. And just heads over to him, and he lifts a hand, and she smacks him on the back as if she's getting something out of his throat. And that is cure wounds for her. So what would I roll?
So
Cred with a C, not cred with a K.
Yeah, there you go. You can you should have the spells. Actually, probably want to work on what kind of spells you want to have after we have a rest here. We can determine that.
Yeah,
so,
I forget what the
so
actual roll is.
Let me grab it here. So it's 1d8 for your spell plus your spellcasting ability.
And that's wisdom for me. That's wisdom for me.
Yeah. So right as she's smacking him on the back, Squeak just kind of hands him his water skin and quite the experience, huh?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, that was a heck of a heal. 12.
Oh wow, you maxed that out. Nice. Very good. Very good. So yeah,
she is a full contact healer.
Yeah, exactly. So he kind of like stumbles a bit, and but he nods.
But you're feeling better, right?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. How long have you been here? Did it take you long to get in?
5 minutes, 10. You know.
That's
Spent a few arrows, not much.
fairly astounding.
Was there someone else in this cave that you know of?
They had me and Gundren down here for a little while, at least half a day. They never even asked me any questions. They just kept beating me in front of him, and then they proceeded to do the same to him after he tried to stay tough. But they took his gear. They got out some kind of map or something out of his scroll case. They did that back in the clearing, and then they just dragged them off. Clark had a few of his gobbers. They took off with him.
And this was a couple days ago?
No, that's when we set out. What was it? How long has it been? It's been at least a day. It's been at least a day since he's been gone.
Well, that bodes well.
Well, guess we just got to get out of here. What are you going to do?
Debbie, there's more. You know, he could still be in here.
Hey.
Wedge says there's someone else in here.
Yeah.
There was
That
more
is-
than one.
There was
There's more
somebody
than
else
one
that
horse,
got
right?
brought in yesterday. It was about the time that they took Undernoff. But I haven't seen them.
She says she's following her up the tunnel, but that she left her back at the bridge.
Wait, who's that? Oh,
Wedge.
okay, I gotcha. So you're heading across the bridge, gotcha.
Wedge says that she brought her up the tunnel, but left her back at the bridge.
Oh, the bird. Oh, that's right. I was wondering if you were going to have him down here or not. Okay.
Yeah, no. She flew off and found Farah.
Okay. Perfect. So,
I forgot about your bird.
everybody forgets about the bird.
Yeah. Like sorcerer from
Precise-
Raiders.
Precisely what he wants.
That's exactly.
So
Until they're
claw their
scratching their
eyes
eyes.
out.
Yeah, there you go. We went right for the eyes. Perfect. Okay, so let's.
What's the point of having a bird as a best friend if they don't claw out eyes for you
Or
sometimes?
randomly find things that I'm not supposed to know about.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, so Leah, how do you respond seeing a falcon coming out of the darkness towards
In a
you?
cave. Ah, yes. The majestic cave falcon.
I was a little confused.
Yeah. You're not expecting a bird down here, right?
No.
It's like seeing a sea orangutan.
She seemed to be gentle and wanting to help me, so I followed her
Okay.
because I didn't see how I got in here.
Right. Okay. Perfect. So as you're kind of coming across the bridge, so you do you want to cross the bridge yet? I mean, you can kind of hear some voices in the distance talking. They're talking in low tones, but they're definitely speaking common, which is the general language of the land.
No.
Hello.
I'm confused.
Hello.
Guess what you want to do, because you can hear the voices.
Oh, I guess I'll put you on.
So you'll continue forward. All right. There's the bird, just kind of flapping to and fro from one little rocky outcropping to the next, and yeah. So you come around the corner there, and I think you probably can see Falconian from that angle. Let me see. I'm gonna take a look. Yeah, you can see them from that point, and you see flames coming from or light coming from inside the cavern that's kind of down to the bottom right of you. So what, Falconian? How do you greet this person? And let me ask this: Have you met her before?
Would we have met before? She says probably not, so...
Probably
This
not.
can this can be the meet cute.
Yeah.
Meet cute?
Yes.
Meet cute?
Well, she just ducked behind a rock, so...
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. You're actually kind of hidden away from him, huh? Let me see
Hello?
here.
Are you alright? She's shaking her head no.
No, I'm not. I'm definitely not. Right. So yeah, so Falconian is mentioning or talking with somebody else, and Sildur is looking upwards towards where you are.
Yeah. Squeak
And-
hides immediately when he realizes someone else is around.
Of course he does.
Disappears behind Crud.
Yep.
So Crud, are you gonna make yourself seen as well?
Oh yeah. Are you talking to somebody, Falconian? Are there more goblins?
Nope, this appears to have been a prisoner of the goblins.
Oh,
Crud, get back here!
is it Gundren?
I don't think so. Was Gundren a small human female last time we met him?
Not.
I mean, he could have been. If
Trust me, if he was a lady, I would have remembered that.
really
Okay.
hairy female.
We mean you no harm. We've killed all the goblins. We were not their friends.
That's true.
Then who are you friends with?
Each other.
You, if you
Not
want.
nobody else, really. We're kind of
Oh.
losers.
Hey.
And on that bombshell. So I don't know, Squeak, as you're kind of like moving around back there, you maybe catch a glimpse of Farah, and I think if we want to kind of go with that story, I think you both kind of recognize each other, and maybe kind of like as you're peering around the armored form of Ursula, and you're looking over there. I don't know, maybe. Because Squeak and Crud already know each other from before. So I think maybe like this will be kind of a good time to have like a little flashback. So as you're kind of peering around Ursula, and Crud's like right there, and you're actually smelling some of the baked goods that's like in his pouch or something that's there. That kind of smell is a very powerful tool in memory, and we kind of like the camera kind of goes dark, and we hear the sound of somebody yelling that something's burning. There's what are you doing? You have to get back there, and you have to get that oven open before the thing starts burning. I've told you 100 times, Crud, that's what you have to do. Now go on, get back there, get the thing open so you can get my god, all my croissants are going to be burned. Get it out of the oven.
You got it, boss. Shoot, I'm sorry.
Well, if you'd stop talking to the halfling, I don't know why he's hanging around here. There's no... Look, you get enough free food as it is, little one.
He can be of help sometimes. He gets me stuff. He can't reach the stuff on the high counters, but I'll go get the croissants.
And so Squeak, you're kind of like you're at the door, and maybe like the sound of the head chef's voice kind of booming at you from across the common room. Yeah, you're like backing up into the doorway of this establishment, and we'll just say it's like a small little cookery. Like you have like maybe 3 stools at the bar and 2 small tables with 3 chairs each, and that's it. So if you're kind of thinking like in Japan, you know how they have those little tiny restaurants down the alleys and stuff. It's kind of like that. And as you're kind of backing out of the door, you bump into Farah. So Farah, you're coming in. I would say that because of your history, you're not well known, but you're liked in the neighborhood, I guess. I don't want to make you sound like I don't want you to be more famous than you want it to be, but people seem to have like a good disposition towards you. And maybe that's because you've helped some person here and there. And I think, according to your history, you don't normally make yourself known when you do that. But on occasion, somebody sees that and they let slip that, this person's a good egg. Let them do. Let them buy. They're a friend. So maybe that's where you're kind of standing there. You're heading in. Maybe you're going to get something to eat. And you get bumped into by this halfling. So kind of like a hobbit, if you're not familiar.
Okay.
Squeak kind of drops the mushrooms that he was carrying for Crud. He was bringing them, and he just kind of drops them, and he bends down and starts picking them up. Excuse me.
Here, let me help.
Oh, thank you. And so Squeak starts picking up mushrooms and tries to see if she's got anything valuable in her pocket.
Oh boy! All right, so that's gonna be a Let's see. A dexterity check. So
Sleight of hand?
Or sleight of hand, yeah. Sleight of hand. There you go.
What are you doing while you're picking up the mushrooms?
Oh,
So that's a 10. So that's
trying to see if there's anything.
So Farah, what I'll have you do is do an opposed. So this is kind of an opposed check. So I'll have you do a dexterity saving throw. So you'll have a little box on the left-hand side that's just to the right of your stats, and it'll say saving throws. Just click dexterity.
Yeah, because this is back. Squeak's still a criminal, right?
Oh no. Yeah, you're still kind of a criminal.
He's still learning. He's not very good yet.
He's not very good, but in this case, you're actually
That's good
decent.
enough.
So let's do this. What's something that Pharaoh would have that would be kind of a personal object that I don't want to disappear? It's not going to go away, but what's a personal object that maybe he might have found in like a pouch or a satchel that's at your hip or something?
The necklace.
Ooh, that's right. Okay.
Which is also her crystal focus.
That's right. Okay, so this is good. This is good. So Squeak, so yeah, you grab this necklace and you bring it back.
Yeah, I think Squeak. He sees. He's kind of he pulls it out and he kind of takes a look to see what he's found, and I think he's taken aback by the necklace itself. I don't think he was expecting to. He was a couple of coins or something, right?
Right.
And
No.
so I think he's taken aback a little bit, and it isn't quite sure what to do with that. He didn't really, like she has a reputation. He, squeaky a couple of coins here or there. Nobody's gonna miss that. But he didn't want to steal something of major value from her. So he tries to quickly slip it back in the pocket without being noticed.
And she hands him more mushrooms.
And she's handing him mushrooms. He's gonna try and slide this one back in.
Okay.
And
oh my goodness. Okay. So
he's trying to get out of this without.
Should she roll perception?
I think so, yeah, because now you're like kind of eyeball to eyeball almost.
Like,
oh my gosh. Okay. So yeah, so you do that. But as you're doing it, your hand starts to feel a little warm, like from touching the object, from touching the necklace. And as you do that, you put it back in, you get flashes of images. And Farrell, I'll have you kind of fill this in at your comfort, whatever you would like to have. But it delves almost back into your ancestry. So I don't know, what would be kind of like a few flashed images that might race across little Squeak's brain that goes back into your ancestry where your magic has come from.
Her ancestry is the Red Dragon.
Ancestry, or like where I got the necklace from, or like what?
Oh, whatever you prefer.
Anything.
Whatever you prefer, yeah.
Okay. Is it supposed to be like a good thing or a bad thing, or like?
Well, if you're looking for direction, I mean, I want it to be open to however you want to tell your tale. But
Okay.
if for like a little guidepost, I'm thinking, how like when like in like kind of spooky tales and stuff when you're on TV or whatever, or somebody just grabs an object of an ancient artifice or something, they grab it and all of a sudden all these images flash in their head of the history of that object. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. So it kind of delves into who you are, but also maybe a little bit about the source of your magic, and that kind of gives us, the audience, a way to kind of look into that.
So probably like a flash of something about how the object relates to you, how it relates to your magic, how you relate to your magic.
Yeah. So it could be flashes of maybe how you got the object, if you want to do that.
I guess like. So sorry.
No, take your time. Doing great.
I guess. So he sees like, old red dragons when like dragons were like the only thing around, and then like flashes forward to like human dragon interaction, and then like fire, like fighting human dragon interaction sort of deal, right?
Yeah.
So like that's where like the ancestry, and then it flashes forward to like a little pink baby crying, and then it flashes forward to like her mother, like seeing her mother do like magic when she was like fire magic when she was little, but not like specifically remembering it. So kind of like seeing this from a third person, and then like watching from a first person view her mother die and hand her the necklace.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Nice. You sure you haven't spun Tales before?
I definitely have. It just
There you
takes
go.
me a moment.
There you go. There you go. Cool. I thought there was some professionalism there for a bit there. Nice, nice. So okay, so Squeak, how do you react to this?
Squeak, you know, he's getting it there, and he drops it, and he just and runs. Squeak just runs. He just drops the mushrooms and takes off, and just boop, disappears as a halfling can.
Wow. So as he's kind of like beating feet away, we see him running, and then like maybe like you turn a corner and you look back, and you're kind of looking around the corner like this briefly.
Yeah, I think he's back up against the wall around the corner, and it's just he doesn't know, because he's never seen a dragon before. He doesn't he's seen things that just made no sense to him, and he's trying to process, but he just bit of a fight or flight response there, you know, coming from the streets, and protecting himself is to get out and don't be seen. So he's sort of that you know, orphan on the streets mentality took over, and he was out of there. Try to figure it out later, process it.
So that's awesome. Very good, actually. So the camera kind of like zooms in on your face as you're kind of like up against the stone wall. You're trying to like get your breath, and then like each breath is kind of like a beat, and then all of a sudden the beat changes, or the screen changes on one of your exhales, and now you're crammed behind crud, and you're kind of like breathing deeply, like it's the same one. It has to be the same one, you know, that kind of thing. So we're back in the present now. So Farah, now you recognize Crud probably from the bakery, the place where you've gone to eat a couple times, and Crud, maybe there's some kind of remembrance on your part.
I will say she's hiding behind a rock right now.
Yeah, she's kind of like, I don't know if you're kind of peeking around the rock, and so that they can kind of see your face.
And she has her back against the rock.
Oh,
so like she's not facing us at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay. So that little brief glimpse, that's where we're at. So Crud, go ahead.
With an int and wisdom of -2, I'm pretty sure I won't remember her.
Look, so many people come by to taste my biscuits and my soup and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Nothing like do with faces.
And he was getting yelled at.
That's right. That's right. I recognize the tops of heads, you know, because you're so tall. Oh, and you're the one with the split cut. Oh, you have the butter knife haircut, and then I remember you. Okay, so. All right, so that's kind of where we're at right now. So Farah, how do you react? Maybe kind of that brief little glimpse of Squeak. You recognize him.
I don't think that I would recognize him like right at first, because I'd only like come in contact with him for half a second, and he was grabbing mushrooms and his head was down.
It was probably more meaningful for him, because of the images and everything. Yeah, good point. All right.
She said she was trying to do like a Spider-Man kind of thing, only like with trying to get flames to come back out. So,
so she's trying to so you're sitting there trying to like kind of redo what happened. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So Sildur is he steps forward, and he's what is it Gundren or is it not Gundren?
It's definitely not Gundren. Miss, my name's
absolutely.
Falconian. We don't want to hurt you.
Would I have, Jeff, in your description of that it was somebody who sort of had a reputation, would I have known her name? Is that kind of, did she have that much? Did Fair have that much of a reputation, or just you knew that was that girl who was?
She says no.
Yeah, I wouldn't think
probably
so. I
wouldn't
think it was more like a few people might recognize her. It's kind of like saying, like, I know the person who saved my life, but I know that person doesn't want to be lauded with praises, but they know I know and I appreciate them.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that kind of thing. So, I mean, you know a crowd, and you know when a crowd is more accepting of a person than not.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she'd kind of fall on that scale.
She does also have the very distinctive appearance of having like shimmery pink skin and golden hair. So
yeah, so I mean that's a good
pretty
point.
distinctive, yeah.
I think Squeak at this point would kind of, have he sort of caught his breath now and might just sort of squeak out a little, hello, miss, I think we've met before.
You got pink skin and golden hair, like.
And maybe that's what I did. Maybe I say, Crud, it's the girl with the pink skin and the golden hair who used to come to your shop.
I hadn't heard anything about that. Hi. I didn't know you were a former customer. What are you doing here?
Can I get you a biscuit?
Would you like some soup?
She just remains silent for now.
Oh, okay.
If she's Solder still kind of leaning against the wall that's like right there next to him, he says, give her a chance to come around. It's not for nothing to be waylaid by these people and dragged away.
Wedge is gonna fly up in a kind of friendly manner. That's Squeak. Wedge is gonna fly up in a kind of friendly manner. How are you gonna react to that? Wedge is flying up to you, like landing on the rock next to you.
Squeak is flying up in a friendly
Wedge.
Oh, God.
Not quick to trust.
Okay. Well, then Wedge is also going to fly back over here and land on my shoulder. So.
All right. So Silder kind of leans back and against the wall, and he says, "If there's no place to worry about the goblins here, then we might have a bit of a time to catch our wind. But
let me take a quick look through the cave and see if I find anything else.
Do you have food?
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh yeah,
Fred definitely has food.
I got biscuits. I got soup. What do you like? There were some wolves. I could cook you up some wolf steak, flank.
Food. Anything will do.
Anything will do. Okay. Well, Crud will give her a biscuit and a nice slice of cheese and a little like tin cup of soup.
Nice.
Squeak.
Soup's a little cold, but it's pretty tasty still.
Squeak kind of just looks at Crud with like big puppy dog eyes when he sees the food.
Hey,
Choose roll.
I got something on my face, or
Ursula is going to take her hand and she is going to put it on Squeak's face. and very gently push him.
I'll give Squeak. Crud will give Squeak some cheese.
Nice.
Thanks,
You already
Crud.
had your biscuit. No way, that was Falcone. I'll give you a biscuit.
Yeah.
It's just a regular biscuit, right?
No, yes. Well, depends on whether or not this is a short rest.
Keep going. I'm just gonna grab something here real quick.
I think this counts as a short rest.
Yeah.
If
Oh,
this
yeah.
is
This
a short
is
rest.
short rest.
Yeah.
Then any of my food you eat will give you an extra D6 when you spend hit dice to heal.
Like a couple times.
Ooh.
Oh boy, Max.
All right, say that out loud
I
again.
did say that out loud.
Okay. Did y'all hear that?
No.
What's that?
No.
Then she'll take the food, and then she'll remember that she's had these biscuits before.
Oh, yes.
Perfect.
Yay!
Perfect. That works.
All right, I tried to roll an investigation check after wandering down to where she'd been kept.
Right.
I didn't really do well.
Well, you
Something
know what?
was-
It's actually when you go back to that cave where she was at, you actually see a like a cone of burned like area, like just, and you find the remains of the goblins over there, crispified as it were. And yeah, I mean, it may be that there's just not enough there, and most of the stuff that's outside of this cavern where you're at, or where Clark was and where Solar was being kept, a lot of the stuff outside in that cavern is just refuse and stuff the goblins left behind. Nothing too good.
I'm going to make my way back to the rest of the group then, because there's not a whole lot of anything to see
Right.
over there.
So, Crud, I see that you rolled something. What are you looking for?
Well, the intelligence was just to see since she has very noticeable or memorable physical characteristics. I gave a roll of intelligence a chance to see if I would recognize her.
Okay.
I actually didn't roll terrible.
No,
So
that's-
maybe I remembered somebody with pink skin, because you don't see that every day.
Right. Outside of being like a tiefling of some kind or something to that effect. Yeah, you wouldn't. It would be pretty rare. But yeah, she's probably, I don't know, Farrah, you can tell me. Maybe it's a place, like it's one of those small restaurant stalls, so it might be a place where it's not too crowded, that you can go and get something to eat. It's good food. The chef is really good. Cred's really good with his cooking as well.
I do what I can.
Yeah. So maybe it's a place that you've been to before, once or twice or more.
At least once.
Okay. All right.
At least for the mushroom debacle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. and that left an impression enough on Cred that you that maybe you don't know her name, but at least you recognize the face, having been there. So, all right. So, yeah, so looking around the caverns, you're not really able to find much Falconian. Sildar says that if the place is clear, then we might as well get some rest. He still looks pretty shaken up. I mean, you did heal him and everything, but he's looking pretty exhausted. So he... Are you missing a finger? What's going on?
Wasn't Sildar missing a finger?
Yeah, he is. That's right. Very
He's
good.
lost
Very
a
good memory.
finger.
That's right. So yeah, it looks like it's probably the fingers for pulling a bow, because you remember that he did have a pretty nice longbow when he left out from Neverwinter.
Do you still have a nice bow in here somewhere?
Well, you know what? You guys can start kind of taking a look at what's inside here, inside the area. Like I said, there's quite a few crates. There's several of them are marked with what looks like kind of a golden lion roaring, and some other like supplies, that sort of thing. It looks like a place where they've probably been robbing that road for quite a while now, and have kind of accumulated things here.
Investigation checks.
Yeah, sure. If you guys want to, if maybe one or two of you want to work together, you can give the other person advantage, so that works.
Yeah.
So,
Squeak will help.
Oh, dang.
Nailed
so,
it.
so
What a cruddy
Squeak,
roll.
so Squeak, you're kind of
Hey,
helping
now.
out a little bit, and Ursula, maybe you're still dealing with quite a bit of pain. You know, you're
Yeah.
You've got a few bite marks on you where the wolves got at you, so that might be kind of troubling you a little bit.
Oh yeah, I'll start. I'll use my paring knife and my butcher's flavor and start paring meat off of the wolves, away from the area, so it's not unsightly.
And you can
And,
probably do it like over here somewhere.
yep.
That works.
Make us some supper.
Nice. Okay.
And the food that I dispersed to everybody, since it's a short rest, is the thematic equivalent of my Song of Healing. So if you
Nice.
spend hit dice to heal for this short rest, you will get an extra d6 of healing.
Very
Oh,
cool.
nice.
And actually, that's a good segue into using hit dice. Now, do you guys want to do a long rest, which would be a few hours, or do you want to just do a short rest and get going? Either one is fine. It's probably around 2-ish, maybe 1 or 2 o'clock.
Yeah, pretty good.
In the morning?
In the day, during the day.
So I thought we came in
Oh
tonight.
wait, no, never mind. That was when you got waylaid. It's actually close to it's close to sunset, if not further on, because you were starting to lose the light as you approached the cavern.
Mm-hmm.
So just a short rest then.
And we're gonna go back out in the dark.
I mean,
well, we're going.
I will say, I've scouted
There's
this.
a campfire and
All the
Fred's
goblins
making
are dead.
stew.
We could have a long rest in here and then head back out in the morning.
Yeah. But we would have to keep watch and stuff, because,
Yeah, you could totally keep watch, Ursula. Like, that's fine.
I'll keep first watch as I'm making my stew, and after we all have dinner, take a nap, and somebody can have second watch.
I'll take second watch.
Sildar is
That means so
sifting
Squeak
through
gets
the-
third watch.
yes, Squeak gets third watch.
But
Because everything always happens on third watch.
guys,
Thanks for speaking up, Squeak.
If you do third watch and don't screw around, I'll make you a nice pastry when we get back to town. How's that sound?
intriguing.
Maybe a little chocolate mousse.
I don't like mousse. Mousse does not taste good.
Of mousse and men.
With some cream on top.
Oh yeah, like a nice heavy cream, sweet cream. I can do that.
Okay.
I can handle that. Nice. So I'll have to switch the name of Moose and Cream. That's the name of the show now. I'll have to make an update. So you guys can kind of hang here for the evening, set the watches and stuff. Silder's kind of like looking at the crates, but he moves over to the goblin bodies and Clark specifically. He's just kind of looking for weapons, and he finds a kind of a jacked up looking short sword that he kind of slips under his belt, so at least he has some kind of a weapon on him. And then he starts looking at the boxes and stuff, the crates that are on there, where one of them has that blue lion, or is it red or blue? I forgot what it said. Red lion symbol that's on it. And he looks at it and says, "Oh, that's the Lion Shell Coaster. It's a merchant company. And they must have hit them on their way down to Vandalin too. They're starting to set up shop there."
Did somebody say Custard? Custard?
Coaster.
Oh,
not custard. If
I'll take some custard.
there's no custard.
If I was to make custard here, it wouldn't be worth it.
Fine.
I don't see any good eggs around here, so no.
Yeah. I don't think we'll lay eggs, as far as I know.
He knocks once on the crate and he says, "As to that, where's did you lose the supplies when you got attacked?"
We
Oh no,
Hid them.
yeah, we didn't lose supplies.
We hid the cart.
If anything, Squeak and Falconian attacked them. Really.
We did
He doesn't know what to do with that.
The only thing that really came under attack was the donkeys. My sweet Pinello. She's okay though.
That's
was what alerted us to your plight. We were ambushed by the goblins as well. And they fled back to this cave.
okay. Well, he looks at Squeak, and I'm gonna roll back up here and look at something real quick. So Squeak, you saw like a shape, like there was a crate that was in the back that had or what looked like a crate that had a big blanket over the top of it, and you notice it there, and Sildar is looking at you and looks back over at the crate, and he says, "See what you can do with that." And I don't know if you head over to pull the blanket aside.
Oh yeah, Squeak's intrigued and climbs on up, and
It's a moderately sized chest, maybe like about 3 feet across, and 2 feet back. It was underneath the tarp. And the tarp smells gross, like matted wolf fur and stuff like that. It was just disgusting.
Save me the big piece.
Yeah, you think maybe Clark might have just thrown the blanket over it when he heard danger coming. So yeah, it looks like that thing is locked. So if you wanted to
Locked chest.
take a look.
Yeah, Squeak kind of climbs up on some of those crates. It's sort of he's got to get up, try to get eye level with it, and he starts to look around and gives it sort of a once over, trying to just suss up the situation. And
You gotta wander over and just kind of like loom over his shoulder.
Does the chest have an internal lock, or is it like the equivalent of padlocked?
Yeah, we'll call it padlocked.
Oh, that's an easy fix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right, so Squeak gets out his thieves' tools and starts checking that lock, getting it in there, wiggling it around, and
Okay.
roll my 3 thieves' tools, or
Sure. Do that.
but he's picking that lock. He's looking at it. He pauses for just a moment and takes a step back and gathers himself and actually thinks better of himself. He almost got a little overwhelmed by the size of this crate, but he remembers a good thief always before he picks the lock. I'm just gonna check the crate, guys. He really is trying to stall for time because he wants to be able to pick the lock fast and not look like a fool again. So he's acting like he's checking for things, but he's gonna give it a check, see if there's anything unusual going on.
All right. Give me a would that be investigation or perception? I guess we'll go
Perception's better for me, but I just rolled poorly on investigation. So
Well, what's your perception?
I get a +4 on perception.
Yeah, I think perception would have been better on that because you're eyeballing it.
Yeah.
So that would have resolved into 14. But yeah, okay, there you go. That's fine. We'll take that.
Yeah.
So
deal with it.
yeah, so you're looking at the padlock and you realize that the padlock is actually it's a false one. It's a false lock. And there's what looks to be like when you turn it on its side like this, you see like little tiny pinprick holes along the edge, so like where you would normally hold it while you're working, and you can see just inside the little glimmers of needles that are sticking out.
Very sneaky.
Yeah, and so I go, oh yeah, the old fake padlock trick. Yeah,
And right underneath
Hey,
it, you see there's an actual
Falconian.
lock for it there.
Check this out. You want to check out this padlock?
I can see it from here.
He says,
Ursula, healing.
Yeah, I was about to say, Ursula, you want to do the honors? It's just.
What?
and so Squeak.
I think this padlock is testing Squeak's patience, huh?
Yeah.
Wink.
Fine.
Squeak grabs. He looks around and he goes ahead and reaches down, grabs a crate, sort of the lid off of a crate, and says, "Falconian, would you hold this for me for a moment?"
Okay.
Hands it to Falconian, and Squeak steps back and takes his short sword, leans over and tries to catch the latch that he saw, lifted up and trigger.
I'm gonna hold this between me and that chest.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Well,
so that like 4 little needles come flipping out of that lock and hitting the little the crate lid there, and you see like little driblets of some kind of liquid coming off of the edges of them. Well done. And underneath that lock, you actually see the real one.
So Squeak moves back in, and thank you, Falconian. Gets back in, and now he pulls out his tools and eyeballs it and says,
And you see the little one that's kind of bent a little bit.
"Yeah." He goes, "Just a moment."
So frustrating. Oh, nice. Yeah.
And
You've seen crud like cut through butter, with a knife, and it's just so smooth. Yeah, it's a lot like that.
It just hits the side of the chest like Fonzie hitting a jukebox, and the lock just snaps open.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it comes open. Yeah, for sure.
Pops it open, and he lifts the lid on that crate.
Right. So the crate kind of opens up, and the firelight starts to pick up little glimmers of things on the inside. And the first thing that Squeak sees is he's kind of looking in on the lid. I mean, you're tall enough; it's like comes up to like kind of belly size for you, so you can see in. You see like two little green eyes, glowing eyes, looking up at you, and that's where we'll take our first break. So, let's. If anybody needs to do their thing, folks at home, we're just going to take a quick break. You'll see the next episode coming up either tomorrow or the next day, but that way you're on pins and needles as well as we go back into the cavern in just a little bit. We'll be right back.